Excellent. Hello. Welcome to RamGoatAstrology. I am Laura Lee.
I'm Helena. Hello.
We've been
Ha.
chatting for a while before we hit record. Almost an
Yeah.
hour.
Yes. It's always so much to catch up on.
Always. We're catching up on stuff and checking out what's going on with planets and stuff in our own charts because we've got some big changes coming up. My husband has Uranus going over his rising sign and a Pluto square Pluto. And Pluto is going over his MC again for the 5th time. So he is completely shifting everything he's doing. So we are in the process of understanding what that looks like in reality. So we were just chatting about that and all the changes coming about. And we are going to be recording today the changes that are coming about in August.
Yeah. And it's funny because you were talking about the changes that are happening now with you guys. And you were like, oh, hang on, what did we talk about in the July forecast? I think I gave myself some advice there.
I did. I really did. I was
Yeah.
talking specifically about what's, the end of July here and what was coming up. And I remember saying, if you're going to be doing some business stuff or making some business changes, this is a great time to do it. And now I'm laughing because
that's what you're doing.
That's literally what I'm doing.
Yeah. On the new moon.
On the new moon, yes, the new moon with Cancer, and I think that's a time for healing a lot of stuff. I was watching Deborah Silverman talking about the Cancer new moon and like really using that energy to heal generational trauma. So I think that's what our changes are going to be doing here. But we're in the middle of the changes, so
Wow.
we're not feeling that healing yet, right?
Yeah, that's cool. So then you should look at the event chart for yesterday for your new business then.
Yeah, for sure. I know.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that yet. I've been checking the transits of our personal
Yeah.
chart. So.
Yeah.
Too many charts to check out.
So many charts. But today we're going to talk about the August transits and the August happenings in the sky and in the world.
The energy you might be picking up on.
Yeah.
And it starts off with a bang with 3 things on the 1st. I don't think we often start a full moon on the 1st of a month. Can't think of times that happens all that often, but this month, August 2023, we have a full moon in Aquarius.
I feel like that's very much a statement. It feels very like, I don't know, typical Leo, just be like, I'm gonna start in the middle of my season, a new month, with just a full moon in the weirdo Aquarius sign. I mean, yeah, it's a lot.
It does. Now, with the full moon in Aquarius, we are talking about letting go. So the full moons are releasing energy, and Aquarius is weirdness, change, independence. So we're releasing areas where we are not doing those things. We're not being weird. We're not leaning into our independence and our uniqueness. We are not doing our humanitarian work of Aquarius, right? And so those are the things we have to release so we can lean into that energy using the Leo sun. So we want to be courageous and release these Aquarian hesitancies that are holding us back so we can shine like the weirdo we are.
Yeah, I mean, exactly like that. Yeah, just let your inner weirdo out and accept it, because we all, like, the inner weirdos in all of us inspires all of us as well. When I see a weirdo in the wild, it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. And this is definitely a time to remind us that it's not the word weird has got such a bad rep. It's just uniqueness, our own uniqueness that we need to accept.
Your authentic expression. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one.
Authenticity is very important for Aquarius. And Aquarius is quite genius. So we need to release this idea of we don't know enough, right? Oh, I don't know enough to do that. I don't know enough to take that courageous action that Leo sun is asking me to take. Aquarius is full moon is releasing that I don't know. You do know. You do know, and if you don't know, you can find the answers, the information from most likely technology. Use the technology that Aquarius rules and figure it out. You can YouTube anything. Anything.
Yeah.
There's business advice. There's all kinds of great stuff on the internet if you know how to use it properly. So use that full moon in Aquarius to release those hesitancies. What else is going on that day, Helena?
We have Mercury opposite to Saturn. So Mercury is the planet of our intellect, how we communicate, how we process information. And Saturn is the planet of sort of grow up and be responsible. And that opposition, I think it could make us be quite stern in our minds.
Yeah.
Maybe have us thinking more about like of all our responsibilities.
Right. And this is a really intellectual placement or transit with, and it's just a short one. Mercury moves pretty quick. So Mercury and Saturn, when they do hit, it's almost this leveling up of maturity of the way you think, right? You want to mature in the things you say, the way you learn, right? So utilizing that with the full moon in Aquarius to really embrace that geniusness is, I think, a great combination of those two energies.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Mars is trying to Jupiter that day too.
It is. So
lots of players in the sky, the sun and the moon, Mercury and Saturn, and Mars and Jupiter. There's 6 big players talking to each other. So that's a big day, August 1st. Put it on your calendar, circle it.
Yeah.
And really you lean into these energies. Mars and Jupiter trining each other. I think that's a phenomenal combination to have. It's almost like you put magic sparkle dust in your car, which is Mars, and Jupiter's the magic sparkle dust, so you can really go. Like you can really go for a long distance and really use the energy in a positive way. You can use a Jupiter positive sparkle dust.
Yeah. That's a great analogy.
Right?
Yeah, Jupiter will really like lend that supportive and benevolent energy to your drive this day and also the day after, and that's pretty cool. It's interesting to think about how this day could manifest with all of those things happening, because with a full moon,
right,
I mean, people, it's a thing that people can become, you go lunatic. The word lunatic comes from being moon crazy. You go crazy from the moon being full, and so there's a lot of
and Aquarius is crazy.
Active energy, and Aquarius is really crazy, and Leo is very like, I'm here, I'm gonna take up space.
Yeah, and Leo wants you to go bold and be courageous. So I'm very curious what's going to happen during this first day of August. What a day what a energy to start the month out with.
Yeah, because like the full moon and the Mars trine Jupiter is both like pushing out energy, and then the Mercury opposite Saturn is sort of like pushing back.
Yeah, like making sure you're really thinking about things before you do it, right? Really making sure there's like a healthy thought process there so that you don't go maybe above and beyond what you can do. Maybe it's to really check your energy. With that Mars trine Jupiter, you might feel like you have boundless energy. Right?
Yes,
you got that sparkle dust going.
Yeah.
You got the Jupiter big energy, like filling your tank of gas with the Mars car, the car you drive, and the energy you have. And then Mercury opposite Saturn goes, do you really have enough energy for this? Or do you just think you have enough energy for this? Right? He's making you really think about that. So be careful.
And I also see this. Yeah. And also be careful what you say. Because I think that also Mercury opposite Saturn could be that, you need to mature in a way. Like Saturn comes with lessons, and sometimes lessons are hard and you need to live them. So it could be that you actually say a lot of things that you didn't mean, and you just
Mhm.
blurt them out, and that is your Saturn Mercury lesson.
Yeah.
That Saturn is like, ah, oop, there you
It's a
did it.
classic foot in mouth syndrome.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Do you have a saying like that in Swedish where someone puts their foot in their mouth?
I don't think so.
No.
We might, but nothing comes to mind.
All
Nothing comes
right.
to mind.
So we've got the 6th. So there's a couple like quiet days there after the big first. Then there's a couple quiet days. Then on the 6th, the sun is square to Jupiter.
Mm.
So a square, for those of you still kind of wrapping your head around the transits, a square energy is a conversation that the two planets are having, but it's a tension-filled conversation. The conversation isn't flowing well. I like to explain this to clients I work with as this is like you got Uncle Jim at the Christmas party and he had a little bit too much alcohol and he is talking about all of the controversial subjects out there, right? He's bringing up all the gun control and abortion and vaccines and just all of it, right? And your Aunt Sue is in the corner and she's trying to get out of this conversation and she doesn't like it. And oh my, but it's a tension, right? And it's making tension in the whole room and people can feel that energy radiating. So when you have a tension within your chart, you kind of have that tension within you. When it's in the sky, it's a tension we feel like as it goes past us. So when the sun and Jupiter, the biggest planet in the sky, are kind of squaring off, right? Having this square energy, it's big. It's really big. So you want to be aware of this tension that day, but Jupiter is happiness and benevolence, and the sun is bright and shiny, and your willpower and your vitality and life force. So when they square, it's not necessarily like a bad thing. You might just have to become aware that maybe you might get too much that day. You might be a little obnoxious that day, right?
For sure.
Too much Jupiter.
Too much Jupiter, yeah. And the sun will be in Leo at the time, and Jupiter will be in Taurus at the time. So maybe you will, yeah, stubbornness, and then the Leo who can also be obnoxious, and
Really
Taurus
obnoxious.
as well can be obnoxious. But for sure, it can be too much. You can, maybe you know, eat too much food, you party too much, or something. It just becomes too much fun.
I could see eating too much food. If you guys are at a party on the 6th, the summer gathering or picnic, don't eat too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that big time. This is an interesting time. This will be falling on my son Elliot. His the Jupiter in the sky is on his moon right now in Taurus, and then he's a Leo rising. So this will be happening on his moon and his Leo rising. That should be exciting. For those of you that couldn't see the face I made, it was quite sarcastic.
It was a surprise / sarcastic /
oh shit,
very scared.
I will be. And this, you guys, is why I use astrology with parenting. As soon as you said Leo and Taurus, my brain went, ooh, I know someone with those strong placements. Yes, I should go check if this is affecting him personally. And yes, it is. So now as a mom, I know that on the 6th, I am going to be sending him outside to work and be outside of the house most of the day. Like, don't be in my house. You're just going to be big energy. And I don't want to deal with that. So go outside. So that's where parenting and astrology really help me. Now I know on the 6th, just be uber patient with my son and kick him out of the house.
Yeah.
I like that. And then the 8th, what's going on the 8th?
So on the 8th, we have another square. This time it's between Venus and Uranus. And Venus is where right now? It's in
Leo.
It's in Leo. Okay, so we have another Leo Taurus square, but between two different planets. Venus is the planet of relationships, all sorts of relationships, also finances, pretty much anything that you value.
Yep.
And then Uranus is that planet that is a little bit like those Christmas balls that you have that you just shake. What is it called? It's not called a Christmas ball.
The snow globe.
Christmas ball.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
like that. Ugh, it's just like you never know where the snowflakes are gonna land.
Yeah.
You never know with Uranus. So around this time, your values might change. You might change how you feel about
Your
um
friendships.
your friendships or your people in your family or your partner, or you
Yep.
might change what you maybe you have been saving up to buy a house, and maybe now you're thinking, oh, do I want a house?
Right. Right.
You know?
Honestly, I have a friend that's going through that something very similar with friendships where she's really evaluating, I don't want to hang out with those types of people anymore. Like that's not the vibe I'm rocking anymore. And she's leveling up, in the healing and health and wellness department and healing traumas and just honoring and valuing herself more. And she's learning to step up into that. And I can see where this
Yeah.
transit is really going to be affecting her profoundly, and she'll probably be cutting out several friends that are
Mm.
already like barely hanging on, right? So if you've got some friendships that are getting ready to be let go of, and friendship divorces are hard, you guys. I want to honor that. There is
Yeah.
no word in our culture that I know of that is equivalent of a divorce, but for friends, right? And I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and she's about ready to let go of a friendship of 40 years. 40 years. You
Oh
guys,
my.
that's my entire life. And so she's struggling with this, but she knows it's in her best interest to let this go, and it needs to. But it's a 40-year relationship.
Yeah.
So, if you have friendships, I have lost a lot of friendships in my life. I have Venus in Aquarius. So, they come and go, and it doesn't matter if I was done with them or not. They go whether I'm done or not sometimes, and it's not
Mm.
necessarily of my doing or my choosing, and those, they're hard to let go of. So if this is something that happens to you during this transit, just take some time to honor those big
Mm.
feelings. Uranus definitely can create some severance or sudden chaos or a letting go of friendships when it's square to Venus. And
Mm.
that's usually for our highest good so that we can move forward with the people we need. And typically you'll get new people, right?
Yeah.
New stuff.
Yeah.
But there's that pain that you have to honor too. So,
Yeah, it's just that the way it happens, or the just happening of it is painful,
yeah.
but it is what needs to be done, and this aspect is helping us get there.
Yeah.
And all all aspects that have the sun there, they are direct for, I think it's 2 days,
Yes.
2 or 3 days. So you can count. It's not just that. It's not just the 8th. It's also the day after that you can count all the sun. Oh, this was Venus.
This one's Venus. Yeah. The sun's conjunct Venus on the 13th.
Oh, that's true.
So
Okay,
they'll have that.
but all the big planets that we're talking about, everyone except for Mercury, you can count at least 2 days, 2 or 3 days with all of these
Yep.
um transits and
Yep.
aspects. Yeah.
So the 8th, pay attention to that, because on the 6th, when the sun is square Jupiter, right, we might get some obnoxiousness. And then on the 8th, there's going to be some repercussions of.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
And then on the 13th, the sun is conjunct Venus. So now we've got the sun basically highlighting in a significant way and enhancing Venus. So now we get to warm our relationships that are beneficial. We get to warm the areas of life that are bringing us income. We get to really shine a light on the things we value and love and care for. So be aware of the friendship slash money slash partnership shifting that might take
Mm,
place during this time frame, that 6, 7,
mm.
8, 13. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's an interesting couple of days.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
When two planets are conjunct, they sort of mix their energies. Uh, so yeah, the Sun and Venus. That's a nice mix.
It is
That's
a
just
nice mix,
something
especially
I want to be
after
part
the
of.
after the Venus square Uranus, I think it's a really nice mix because you may have some hurts within your relationship. There may have been things that got said that were not okay, right? And maybe our nervous system got triggered. Maybe we are extra stressed because Uranus rules the nervous system. So maybe our stress level was real high and then it affected our relationships negatively. Then when the sun comes to conjunct Venus on the 13th, we can use that enhancement to apologize or lean into, the things we do value. And if we really value those relationships, we'll work on fixing whatever stupid shit we did.
Yeah. And then the 15th, we have another square again.
Yeah.
Uranus is back, square to the sun.
Man, this guy is just not going away, is he?
No, it's been a lot of him lately. Like,
right?
So now, now the sun, our vitality and our core selves and like the living force is in this square position to the planet
Independence.
that loves to change it up and just throw us out of the loop.
Independence, rebellion, do something different, right? So the sun and Uranus are having this tension-filled conversation where the sun is going, please do this, and Uranus is going, no.
Yeah.
I have a toddler with all Uranus Aquarian placements. That's all she says all the time. It's her only word. No. Even if she wants something, then she'll go, okay, well, maybe. So every time I picture Uranus, I'm like, no. Why are you saying no? I don't know. I just feel like I have to. I have to rebel, and I
know
don't know why.
Like that. Yeah. I know someone with a lot of 11th house placements, and it's very much like that.
I have to rebel, and I'm not sure why, and I have to say no, and I don't know why. So I don't really want to say no, but you expect me to say yes, so then I have to say no.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that will probably occur if you are a mama rocking some kids. Be ready for that energy on the 15th. If you've got partners with lots of 11th house energy, be ready for that on the 15th.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Uranus. I love him. I love that planet. I'm a big fan of the chaos and the change and the independence sometimes.
Yeah, it's really great. It's just there's two sides of everything, or too much. You can have too much of everything, and when you have too much of the independence and of that, it can be hard to work with that energy.
Yeah. Yes. We'll do a whole,
because that energy doesn't want to open up and listen to anything, so you can't have a conversation with that.
No.
It's very, very much like a tunnel vision kind of thing.
Yeah. So honestly, on the 15th, like that sun square Uranus, like that is a hard day to have a conversation with any person who has Taurus energy. Like they will just, in general, not want to hear you.
Yeah. Not good for a business meeting if you're planning one.
No. Don't ask for a raise that day. That's a terrible day to ask for a raise. The answer will be no. But why? I don't know. I just want to say no.
Yeah.
Just no. So I would advise maybe not that day. We'll find a different day to ask for a raise, but don't do it on the 15th.
Yeah.
On the 15th, Mars is also trine to Uranus. So this guy is just active. Active. So the sun and Uranus are having a hard conversation. And meanwhile, Mars is over here supporting Uranus, going, hey, should we go screw some shit up? Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm expecting a lot of independence because because Mars will be poking on and like pushing Uranus and vice versa.
Like prodding it to go do something. Like let's go cause some chaos. Come on, hey, I'm bored. Let's go find something to do.
Yeah, like there will be people taking action on their independence stuff at the same time as we have that energy of the sun. So I'm saying, like, I'm sitting in my sofa and like, all right, I'm gonna do all of these crazy things I never thought I would be doing, but today is a great day to do them. And then in my mind I'm going, but why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? For what reason am I doing this? You
Right.
know?
Yes. Absolutely. And this is interesting timing because you and I just recorded the node access changing
Mm,
episode, and we talked a lot about this Libra energy that is South Node, where there's going to be this justice issue and rule issues and stuff, and fairness and equality issues, relationship issues. And now here we are in August talking about, well, there could be some relationship stuff, right? And Mars is talking to Uranus and saying, let's go stir some shit up. And
yeah,
Aries is in the North Node. Aries is going to be supporting that and going, yeah, let's go stir some shit up. Let's go fight the
yeah.
fight that we need to fight because shit is not working right. Justice is not being served. People are getting screwed over. This is not okay, right? So this goes along with that node access changing that we just talked about too.
Mm.
Really
I
curious to,
feel like I always feel like the sky, or like the universe. When I see this, I'm like, oh, that's the plan they made.
right? It does
Yeah,
go together, doesn't it?
it goes together. Like, okay, so which the nodes changed the signs, and then here we go, a super active August, full of change
Yep. Yeah, Uranus, bam, Uranus, bam, Uranus, bam. It's change, change, change. And now Mars is coming in here going,
to
come on,
help,
buddy. Yeah, he's
to
going
help
to
the change.
literally to support Uranus in the change. And the sun is over here going, I don't know about this. Uh.
Yeah, for sure. I feel
It's
like if you're gonna go and make some big changes, just take another lap around your brain and think, is this according to my values?
yes.
Is it something that I will want to live with in a week or a month?
Yeah. That's
Is
a
it
great
that
question.
decision?
That's great
Yeah.
advice. And if the answer is no, you don't have to listen to Mars. He does not have to be activated. You can actually just not go
Go
do something.
outside instead. Go
Yeah.
outside, run, get your hands in the dirt, and just make some changes in your garden instead. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great idea. Like put it into something else.
Mm.
So what do we got going
16.
on next?
Well, it just this month just keeps on giving, and the day after this, we have a new moon in Leo. So
All right.
full moon is for letting go. New moon is for starting something, starting things up. So having that Mars trine Uranus the day before, and that is also seeping into this to the 16th, which is the day of the new moon.
Yep.
That is a lot of like starting up energy.
Starting up. Leo
Mm,
is be courageous and bold and daring and be seen and do something big
yeah,
and have fun
yeah.
and maybe obnoxious.
Maybe a little bit.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal, especially like you said with that Mars trine Uranus. It's leading into that new moon energy, and that new moon is all about starting something fresh, like really manifesting and calling in newness into your life. And you guys, this is all like change, 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 changed, and then something new. Bam, go.
Exactly. No,
It does feel like the sky kind of lines up for that, doesn't it? It really,
yeah. When
man,
I'm looking at the list now and I see what's coming after these days, I'm like, ah, you know, we
right,
keep going for a while.
right. Yeah, exactly. So the new moon in Leo really utilize that on the 16th to, and prior to, while we're going through the other stuff, the 13th, 14th, 15th, recognize the new stuff you need to change in your life. Like what's something you're going to be working on starting new? Do you have something in your head that you're thinking of?
No,
Not yet.
usually I do actually. No, I'm sure something will come, but right now, nothing new. Nothing new
And you
over
are
here.
a Leo and you're about to have your solar return.
Hmm.
So that might get activated at your birthday.
Yeah,
You know,
for
something
sure.
Something new might show up when you get that
Yeah,
new
yeah.
solar return, that new assignment from the universe as to what your lesson is this
Oh,
year.
I'm sure it will be a lot of stuff for me, as there's so many things happening in the sign of Leo in
Right.
August.
Yes,
Yeah, it will be a hectic month, I think.
it will be. And
Yeah.
we're launching new business stuff over here. I got tons of business. I mean, it is just business launching. I feel like I'm just shooting fire cannons out into the sky, hoping something lands into somewhere big, right? Like we're just launching big stuff over here. So I'm very curious to see how that manifests for us.
Yeah, you're
So then
doing
we've
really
got,
big stuff.
we are. Then we've got a couple days of chill, and then the 21st. What's going on?
So on the 21st, we have so yet another square, this time between Venus and Jupiter. Oh, a baby. For those who can't see, a baby just entered. A baby entered the podcast recording. Such a cutie. So yeah, we have Venus square to Jupiter, and Venus is the planet of relationships and finances, like we said, and then Jupiter enhances things and make them bigger. And the square aspect is a little harder conversation.
Mhm.
So
But if there's
again,
any
here it
square
can become
energy
too much.
between two planets, if there's any square energy, this is like the best of the best to have square.
Mm,
Venus
yeah.
and Jupiter are both more kind and more understanding, and in general like to get along. So I feel
Mm,
like if you're going to have two planets not getting along, these are at least the nicest two.
yes. Yeah, we're not talking Pluto square Uranus here.
No,
No.
no. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yes.
21st. And then the 21st again with Venus square Jupiter. Those two they're having tension filled conversation, but they're so nice about it. So your values and what you want to do with a couple or relationship or money might get a little expansive with Jupiter. Maybe you spend too much that day. Maybe you do something like I just did the other day where I thought I was shopping on one website, but it was a scam website. And they used a front, like a storefront that I thought was legit and it wasn't.
Mm,
So that might be something where you accidentally lose some money, shopping for stuff you didn't particularly need or whatnot.
mm.
So just
Yeah.
be careful with your money on the 21st of August. And then take note that Jupiter can get a little expansive with how you spend your money that day.
Yes. Yes, of course. It's very much like sit on your wallet kind of day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
And then
like
that,
plan a day to be in nature, somewhere where you can spend money.
I love that. Sit on your
Yeah.
wallet day. We should every time Venus is square to Jupiter, we should label that a sit on your wallet day.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, I'm coining that phrase, Helena. Got it.
That's fine.
Taking it. Mars is opposite Neptune that day.
Mm.
So what's going on in the sky with Mars? The car we drive is opposite Neptune. I feel like there's some fogginess as to what we're driving into.
Mm.
Can't quite
For
see it
sure.
well.
Yeah, this will definitely be a day where you feel there'll be sort of like a global disorientation. Like, where are we going?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going on? And
Two planets are going through Virgo and Pisces. So those are the health signs. One of them is physical health, Virgo, and then Pisces would be our spiritual health. So be mindful of your health that day. Be
mm,
mindful of where you're stepping. If you're in construction, be mindful of where you're hitting your hammer, right? Just like extra caution when
mm,
you can't see very well in front of you. Neptune makes things foggy. And
yes,
in order to really see in the fog, you have to use your other senses, right? Your hearing, your feelings. You have to sense things differently. So,
mm,
and Mars is usually like, let's just go. Let's just drive. Put your foot on the gas. Let's go. And this
mm,
time when Mars and Neptune are opposite, you don't want to just step on the gas. You want to go, hang on. Let me use my other senses here. Let me
and
tune
take
into
it
my
slow.
body, right? Are you doing the exercise you need? Are you, maybe you need to go swimming for the day, maybe going to walk for a walk down by the river. I don't know, but just be mindful of your health and your mental health and all of your actions that day. That's the 21st.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good time to take it slow, and also if you're having thoughts of like existential thoughts, like where am I going in life? This is not the day where you have the answers,
Yeah,
and
don't
that's
make that decision that day.
totally fine. No, because you won't, and we all have days like that. Like, what am I doing with my life? But
that's not a day to do accounting. That's not a day to decide your college career. That's not a day. No, don't make those decisions on August 21st.
no, that's a day to sort of sit in the sofa and watch Netflix.
Yes, that is, or do set up a meditation practice, right?
Yeah.
Set up an altar, do your prayers, whatever works for you. That would be a really good day to lean into meditating, hypnosis, doing some art. That'd be a great day to sit and do art.
Mm, yeah.
Like you said, garden is a good one too. August
Definitely.
21st. It's a sit on your wallet day and a don't make decisions about your future day.
Yeah.
I like that.
Day.
I'm taking note
Yeah.
of that in my own head, right? Like, don't
Yeah.
do that. What day of the week is that? Do you even know?
No, I don't. Let's see here.
That's a Monday.
Oh,
August 21st.
okay.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. It's noted in my calendar. 23rd, Mars is trine to Pluto then. So when we have trines, they're having easy conversations, nice conversations, healthier conversations, supportive. So Pluto is still hanging out in Capricorn retrograde for a little bit yet. And Mars is still in Virgo, just at the tail end there. So we've got Earth energy here.
Mm. Yep. And the trine, yeah, like you said, it's a very helping energy. So these planets are helping each other. So Mars will be helping Pluto to sort of rebuild, reconstruct, and like change from the depth. And Pluto will help Mars, sort of all the things that you're doing, the things you're going ahead with in your life. Pluto will sort of make sure that you do it from a depth. It will bring that depth to
your
it, like
place of power. Yeah.
from a place of power, for sure. This is a very, very powerful
It really is.
aspect. Yeah, both like Pluto is literally power,
Yep.
and then Mars is like physical power.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the 23rd is an interesting day because you've got those two power planets talking in a lovely conversation to each other in these earth signs. And I see this also as really rebuilding your health foundation. Like, have you let your health routine slide this summer? And maybe you haven't been doing your, taking your supplements or going for your daily walks. This is where you recognize that you've got to create that system and structure. Capricorn and Virgo, right? Systems is Virgo and structure is your Capricorn. So you've got to use that Mars Virgo energy to really help create that structure and that transformation that Capricorn Pluto is in. So these two are great for resetting your health or your foundational daily routines, right? Maybe you let them slide and you're like, it's getting closer to September, school is starting. Maybe we better start getting our routine down again. Maybe we better get back into our eating this way or whatever, right? So that's the 23rd. So that's a great day. And the sun enters Virgo that day, you guys. This is a phenomenal day to make some health changes. The 23rd. So the 21st, you get to sit around and be in the zone and just don't spend money and just kind of hang out and be in Artland. The 23rd, this is when you start, all right, let's take some action. Let's make some changes and do some healthy things. Now that our relationships are all better from the earlier in the month and
from the cleaning process.
Exactly.
We do also have Mercury going retrograde on this day
Is well.
Yes, on the same day. And Mercury retrograde sort of slow things down in the system, like it will mess with your computer, with all like electronics, with like buses, trams, trains, stuff just happen.
Yep.
You might realize that you booked your flight for the wrong date.
Yep.
So whatever you're going ahead with, just make sure, double check that you have dotted your I's and crossed your T's. And the Mercury retro shade has already begun, I think, a week prior to this. So it will have been building up. But this day, it really, Mercury goes into retrograde.
Yes. So again, these are the times in your life 3 times a year where we get to go back and reevaluate what we just learned, the information we just took in the last couple months, like what we really, really need to revisit before the test. It's like studying before the exam. Now we got to do the study time. And so we're studying the things that we learned over the last couple months since the last Mercury retrograde. So we get to really examine all the intellectual aspects of things that we've taken in. So this is really just a time of re-examination, I like to think of it.
Yeah. I think it's 4 R's: rethink, redo. What other R's is it? Rethink, redo,
Refund?
evaluate, refund your your mind.
Get a refund on all the crap you spent your money on Venus square Jupiter.
Maybe you just put a new re into the rules of re's. That's great. Okay, I don't remember them, but maybe I'll write them somewhere if I do remember. So yeah, that's that day. And then 3 days later, we have Sun now in right across the zodiac to Saturn. This
Saturn
is
opposite
no
sun.
fun.
Not
This is
particularly a fun one, no.
No. Phew. So the Sun is, yeah, the vitality, the self, la da da, and Saturn, we know Saturn by
Maturity,
now.
do your work, buckle
Yeah.
down, study for the test, follow
Yeah.
the rules, take your
Yeah.
time. All
Um,
that. Don't have fun. This
don't
isn't
have
about
fun.
fun.
Exactly. It reminds us how hard life could be.
Yep. And again, we have this Virgo Pisces excess. So we have to recognize health. Food. Are you eating well? Are you putting good food in your body? Are you making time for your self-care? Like Saturn's really, I'm scowling right now, right? I'm speaking Saturn, right? Like he's asking you all of this because when Saturn's going through Pisces, this is an energy of healing, but healing things that are not necessarily of our physical selves, but of our energetic self. And everything is energy. The past that we came from, our lineage, the past lives that we've had, that's all energy that we all radiate and resonate. So when Virgo and Pisces are activated between the sun and Saturn, we really have to lean into, are we doing the healing work we are supposed to be doing, right? Deborah Silverman always says, you can't escape your Saturn lessons. Don't try. It's not going to work. He'll find you. So this is a Saturn lesson. Anytime the sun comes around and makes an opposition to Saturn, it is a time for really maturing. It's like the sun shines on the maturity of Saturn. Time to grow up now. You need to stop eating cookies for breakfast. Quit bringing donuts to the office. Ain't nobody need that shit. Like, eat your grapefruit, drink your water, go for a walk, do the shit you're supposed to do, and don't do what your parents did if they were unhealthy. Don't do what grandma did if she was unhealthy, right? Do a new form of healing. Do something that works for you and heal the lineage, heal the generational crap, right? This is what we're supposed to be doing that day, you guys, and then continue on. So these transits aren't just to like hit us and then move. They hit us so that we can experience growth and maturity.
Exactly. They spark something in us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's not a fun one, particularly. Anytime Saturn's involved, he's not particularly fun, but it is very necessary, and it can become fun over time.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, of course you can. I mean, you learn things that help you in the end. So in the long run, it would be great.
Right. Right.
Oh, this is such a cute baby looking at me, or no, looking everywhere else but
Just
me.
checking everything out.
He's like a little
Oh,
bird.
and then what's going on after opposite Saturn? Mars enters Libra on the 27th. I have this. I have Mars in Libra natally. It's a great placement, especially if you really want harmony and peace. We don't want to fight,
Yep.
but we
Fight for peace.
yeah, we talked about this with the axis, the north node and the south node changing. Libra issues are going to be surfacing globally and within your own relationship. When Mars goes into Libra, he's going to help us fight for a relationship or for our own peace and balance and harmony. So this may really play into that north node, south node shifting we just talked about in the last episode. So I'm curious. Yeah, you think so too? I'm curious to see what ends up happening as Mars transits through Libra for the next 2 months or so.
Yeah. And then we have something called Uranus retrograde.
Yeah.
So
Man.
Uranus has been moving through Taurus for a long time, feels like forever. And it's at, the final sort of 10 degrees. Could it be 22 degrees right now? Something like that, 20. And now it's going to move backwards. So if you just had Uranus go over your sun or over your something in Taurus, it's coming back. And
My poor husband. It's on his Chiron right now.
Oh,
it just went over his rising sign.
Yeah. So it's coming back, giving him a second chance and then a third chance when it moves direct again to really shake off those dry leaves that weren't helping him right
to
now.
change who he really is and to really work on shaking up that wound, that self-worth issue. Am I good enough to do this? Who am I to do this? Who am I to change who I was into somebody new? So yeah. Oh man, he's getting hit with Pluto and Uranus so bad right now. I feel
Massive
bad for him, but
transformation.
at the same time, like, I'm so glad we know about astrology.
Yeah.
And at the same, I'm so glad that this is something we can have these conversations and be like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. If we didn't know astrology, I think we'd be freaking out. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But knowing where Uranus is in your chart will help you tremendously to work through this energy.
Yeah.
So that happens. And he goes retrograde for a while. So we'll talk about that when he goes back stationary, probably in a couple months. And then the last day of the month, we have another full moon. So we start the month with a full moon in Aquarius, and we end the month on the 30th with a full moon in Pisces. Interesting, huh?
Yes. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, we start with like this full moon sort of uniqueness, weirdo energy of like, oh, let's be inventive, let's try new things. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna go in there. And then we end the month with a lot, like a big bang again, but with the energy of more like going inwards and feeling all of your feeling, like feeling everything. I sort of see like, when you in a lake just floating.
Yeah.
And you hear everything so well.
Yep.
For so far away because your ears are below the water surface. That's sort of how I'm imagining this full moon in Pisces, because you will be like picking up all of the vibes from everywhere, and there will be a lot of vibes to pick up.
Yeah.
Pisces can get a little bit emo.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. So
yeah. A little spiritual woo-woo emo. Yeah, for sure.
So this could be if you're prone to being emo and like leaning towards depression or those things, just be aware for this day is a full moon in Pisces. Just
Do
that
some
your
art.
emotions, yeah, do some art. Your emotions might be all over the place, and
Yeah.
that's fine. It's fine, totally fine. But don't let your mind like start spiraling because of it. Just let it flow through you. Let
Yes.
yourself feel all of the feelings, and then like I have this picture. I've seen this picture somewhere with like it's just a great picture of feelings moving through you, like emotions going through. It's passing. Emotions pass. So
Yes.
just think of them as, I don't know, like water drops running down your face. Like it will not stay there. You will not stay in this energy.
You don't have to catch all the
Passing.
water drops and hold them on. You just let them flow. Let them
Don't let
go.
your eyes drown.
Right. I love that. Yeah, full moon in Pisces is really letting go of these spiritual blocks, spiritual hangups, our intuitive knowledge, really letting that come through and not, yeah, exactly. My little spiritual kid right here. So
Mm,
he's got things to say. So making sure that you know that you are a spiritual being in Earth School, having a physical experience, learning how to be spiritual. Like
mm,
that's what we're all here for.
yeah.
And that's where these full moon in Pisces can really help us out. Yeah.
Mm,
And
yeah.
health again, making sure that we understand the importance of our spiritual health just as much as our physical health. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So this month is a lot like starting very active, like going sort of up and down between like squares, trine, square, trine, square, trine.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of reevaluations of things in a month, and then going into this energy of, oh, where am I heading? And then Pluto coming in and helping with, transformation. And then sort of like the month slowing down in the end and really finishing with that full moon in Pisces to feel like to process this active month.
It does feel like it
Man.
slows down a little bit, doesn't it? Especially with that
Mm,
Sun opposition Saturn and then Mars moving into Libra. That's not an, Mars is the go juice and Libra is like, wait a minute, we got to wait for our partner. We have to think about the other person. So there is this waiting and contemplating the other person. And then Uranus goes, let's go backwards and make sure we were weird enough, right? Like this suddenly this energy of woof, like pulls it back a little bit.
mm,
Yeah, I agree. I
very much
agree.
so.
It does start off with a bang though with that Aquarius full moon.
Yes.
What a
Definitely.
month to go through. I'm excited to see what happens. Definitely lots of changes.
Mm,
Lots of changes, especially with the North Node changing signs just before all of this. And
mm,
you have a birthday just before all of this. So
mhm.
you got your own changes going on too. So
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. Well, thanks for joining us on our exploration through August. If you are interested in any particular transits or want to know more about how these affect your chart or how they may affect you, we would be happy to do readings for you. We can do private readings. You can come on the show, whatever works for you. So please email us, RamGoatAstrology@gmail.com. And all of our info is in the show notes. And we so appreciate you listening and tuning in. There's so much content in the internet, and we're so grateful for anyone who's like, let's listen to
Yeah.
those two weirdos.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can also just send us a question on our Instagram page, which
Yes,
is Ram and Goat Astrology. Um, yeah, just comment there and send us a question, and we'll answer
absolutely.
best
And
way
share
we
us
can.
with your friends. We always appreciate that.
Yes, yes. And
Thanks,
also there's
everybody.
a,
Oh,
oh, sorry, Laura. No, there's a link in the show notes that you can use if you'd like to support the show financially by
yeah,
buying us a coffee or a tea, and would very much appreciate that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Ram and Goat Astrology. You can support the show by buying us a coffee or a tea. Link in the show notes. Your financial support means the world to us. Join us next time.